Hello everyone, this is Banter Bill, and welcome to Caudecus' Manor, Path 3 Dungeon Guide. This is not a speedrunning guide, but a guide meant for those who are new to the dungeon, or for those who need a refresher. For this dungeon, in terms of potion, you want Outlaw Slaying Potion, and for food on my Thief, I use Lifesteal Food. Now for the first boss, you can either run straight in, or you can stack in this corner where we're stacking. For his adds, you want to drop Reflex and Stability. The Reflex should take care of most of the adds. Additionally, the boss starting off will have reflectable attacks. Once the boss reaches about 95%, he'll start using his Blunderbuss, which will knock down and bleed anyone that it hits. That attack is not reflectable, so you either need to dodge it or block it. As a thief, or any class that is going to stay in melee, what you want to do is just kite around him in circles to make sure you're always behind him when he uses his Blunderbuss knockback attack. If you're a Guardian, you want to bring Stability and Aegis, so your teammates, if they get hit by this Blunderbuss, won't get chain knocked down. He likes to focus on a single person, and he'll just keep knocking them down and knocking them down, and you won't have a chance to get up. Once we kill that guy, as a thief, we're going to stealth to the next part. I'm going to use a blast stealth here and a shadow refuge coming up. So we go ahead and blast stealth. Now, I like to, on this part coming up, stack in the middle of the turrets. You'll see what I'm thinking right here. Now, most pickup groups are not used to this tactic, however, I think many of them can adapt to it. This is much easier if you have a Guardian, if that Guardian drops Wall of Reflect starting off. So what you want to do here is that you stand in the Wall of Reflects, and you use your gun skills, you just spam them as soon as they're off cooldown. However, you do not want to use feedbacks or any area projectile block, because if you block it with your projectile block, you will not do any damage to the turrets. Or if you reflect it with the gun, you do damage. So you just stand inside the wall and spam your gun skill to reflect all of them at once. Now the way you're supposed to do it is just walk in the hall and reflect them one or two at a time. However, I find that takes way too long and you're more likely to get downed. Alright, so I'm going to pull that next boss back here. You can stack in this room if you want, up forward a bit and to the right. However, some pug groups are used to stacking here, so that's where we stack. In terms of skills, you want Stability and Reflex. The boss will use almost exclusively reflectable attacks. He has one knockback attack, which is why you need the Stability. Other than that, we just DPS him down. If you do decide to get in the spot as a thief, I wanted to do some backstab damage, so I stayed a bit off to the side there. Alright, now there are several ways to deal with these traps coming up. We do it in the not so good way here. You do want to stealth, which is what we do. However, I find it easier to run through the left, hugging the left-hand wall. However, we don't do that, and several of us go down. I find that if your teammates do go down, you want to kill the riflemen at the end of this tunnel. The easiest way to kill them is with reflectable attacks. Now, if the full team makes it in stealth, you don't need to kill them. Alternatively, one person go through in stealth and then turn off the traps by going around this corner to the right. However, I don't like to do that. I like to have the whole group go with me in stealth. After that, we're going to stealth past these guys, exactly the same as path 1, go under here, and we'll kill the rifleman. Reflects and blinds are useful here. Once we kill the rifleman, we're going to do a stealth run. Again, I'm going to start with a blast stealth and use shadow refuge halfway through. Now ideally you want to place your Shadow Refuge about where I place it so the enemies path to you. Now pathing is where enemies run up to you in stealth and then stop. If you don't path them like we didn't path that archer, they'll follow you all the way and you'll need to break aggro, like for example back here. However, if you path them properly, they'll stop and you can just go straight to the bad guys. It saves you like 10 or 15 seconds. Fighting these riflemen, you want to use reflex or blinds. And then once you beat the rifleman, we're on the fight to the final boss. Now there are two main things you need to watch out for in this final boss. He has a knockback attack, so you want to bring stability, especially if you're a guardian. And he has that whirlwind attack, which you're using right now, which will reflect and block projectiles. However, most groups will fight him in melee, so that whirlwind attack is not that big of a deal. Other than that, you just want to DPS him down. He is not hard at all. If you don't have stability, you can stand where most of our group is standing at these barrels, because if he does knock you back, you won't get knocked back as far. And that is the end of the dungeon. Thanks for watching.